For decades, Guyana had the world's highest emigration rate. But something unprecedented is happening. More Guyanese are now returning home than leaving for the first time in generations. What's driving this remarkable reversal? Government data shows over 2,000 Guyanese have applied to return home since 2020. Meet Sarah Williams, a nurse who left Georgetown for Toronto 15 years ago, swearing she'd never return to what she called a country with no future. Last month, she submitted her resignation letter and booked a one-way ticket back to Guyana. Sarah isn't alone, and her story represents something extraordinary happening across the Guyanese diaspora. For generations, the Guyanese diaspora has been scattered across Toronto, Brooklyn, Birmingham, and beyond. Nearly 400,000 Guyanese live outside their homeland, more than half the population that remained. Guyana once had the world's highest emigration rate at 36% of its population living abroad. To understand why Guyanese are returning home, we need to understand why they left. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Guyana was synonymous with economic despair and political instability. The country faced hyperinflation, widespread unemployment, and deteriorating infrastructure. Crime rates soared, and corruption was endemic. For many families, emigration wasn't a choice. It was survival. The numbers tell the story. In 1980, Guyana's per capita GDP was among the lowest in the Western Hemisphere. By 2000, remittances from the diaspora had become the country's economic lifeline. In 2019, Guyanese abroad sent home $380 million in remittances. By 2023, this figure jumped to $550 million, a staggering 44% increase that reflects both the diaspora's success abroad and their continued connection to home. But then came the discovery that changed everything. In 2015, ExxonMobil announced a massive oil discovery off Guyana's coast. This wasn't just another oil find, it was transformational. The Stabroek Block contains an estimated 11 billion barrels of recoverable oil and gas, making it one of the world's largest discoveries in the past decade. Oil production began in December 2019, and the results have been spectacular. In 2022, Guyana recorded 62.3% GDP growth, the highest in the world. The country is now projected to become one of the largest oil producers per capita globally, with production capacity expected to reach 1.2 million barrels per day. By 2027, Guyana could be pumping more oil per person than Saudi Arabia. This oil boom has created a ripple effect across the economy. Foreign direct investment has surged 47% as international companies rush to establish operations. The government has launched massive infrastructure projects: new hospitals, modern roads, upgraded schools, and expanded airport facilities. Georgetown, once characterized by crumbling colonial buildings and potholed streets, is experiencing a construction boom with new hotels, shopping centers, and residential developments. The transformation is attracting diaspora attention. But it's not just about oil money. The government has actively courted returning Guyanese through the Remigrant scheme, which offers significant incentives including tax breaks, duty-free imports of personal vehicles and household goods, and streamlined business registration processes. Over 1,000 applications have been approved recently, with over 400 approvals in 2024 alone. Dr. Michael Chen, a cardiologist who returned from London last year, explains his decision. In the UK, I was just another specialist in an overcrowded system. Here, I can make a real difference. The government fast-tracked my credentials. I'm earning comparable income with a much lower cost of living, and I'm helping build something meaningful. The economic opportunities extend beyond oil. Technology entrepreneur Priya Sharma returned from New York to launch Guyana's first major fintech company. There's a first-mover advantage here that you can't find in saturated markets, she says. However, the return journey isn't without challenges. Healthcare infrastructure, while improving, still lags behind North American and European standards. Educational options for returnees' children remain limited, particularly for those seeking international curricula. Internet connectivity and digital infrastructure are improving but inconsistent outside Georgetown. Cultural readjustment presents unexpected difficulties. Many returnees struggle with bureaucratic processes, different business practices, and the slower pace of life they once sought. Some find the entertainment and cultural options limited compared to major international cities. Economic risks also loom. Guyana's dramatic growth is heavily dependent on oil revenues, raising concerns about the Dutch disease, when natural resource wealth undermines other economic sectors. Other Caribbean countries are studying Guyana's approach to diaspora engagement and economic diversification. Investment patterns are shifting too. Diaspora Guyanese who once sent money home for survival are now investing in property, businesses, and development projects. This represents a fundamental change from remittances to investment, from helping families survive to betting on the country's future. The transformation has psychological dimensions as well. For decades, leaving Guyana was seen as the path to success. Now, returning home is increasingly viewed as an opportunity for impact and fulfillment. Young professionals speak about making a difference in ways impossible in established economies. Financial planner Marcus Thompson, who moved back from Toronto, reflects on the change. My Canadian colleagues thought I was crazy to leave. But here, I'm not just managing portfolios, I'm helping build a financial sector from the ground up. My children are growing up knowing their heritage, and I'm part of something historic. The numbers support the optimism. Government projections suggest oil revenues could reach $2.4 billion this year. Infrastructure investments are accelerating with new hospitals in every region. The place many left behind has become the place they need to return to. Are you considering going back home? Like and subscribe for more Caribbean transformation stories.